Hello. About 25 years ago, I came to this country with a hope and a dream. I thought, this is it, I'm here. Great Britain, the country that built an empire, conquers quarters the world, pretty much. This is the country where things get done. This is where things work, one way or another. And 25 years later, I'm sitting here looking at these election results, and the Reform just won by 1,400 seats across England, council seats across England. And Labour, our current government, lost just under 1,500 seats in one night. So I want to ask a simple question. How did we get there? I'm not saying that Labour is good or bad, Reform is good or bad. I'm just trying to figure out what happened and how we came to this and whether something's going to change. So we need to go to the beginning. About 25 years ago, so 1997, Tony Blair, he wins the election in a landslide, okay? The whole country is excited. His campaign song literally was "Things can only get better." And look, for a few years, the economy was growing. He put money into schools and hospitals. But then, what happened then? Anybody remember? Yep, Iraq. So Blair takes his country to war on a lie of weapons of mass destruction that did not even exist. 179 British soldiers died, hundreds of thousands of Iraqis died. Tony Blair, what happened to him? No, he got knighthood. Yep, a knighthood. Just let that sink in. Okay? But that's not even the worst part for ordinary people. While Blair was playing soldiers with George Bush back home, immigration was changing this country faster than anyone had a real conversation about it. When he came to power, net immigration was around 50,000 a year. By the time he left, it was over 250,000 a year. So it's like, what, 5 times ish? I'm bad at math. Anyway, nobody voted for that. Okay, nobody was asked. It just happened. And then Gordon Brown. Okay, the next Labour Prime Minister was caught on microphone calling a normal woman a bigot just for asking about immigration. That told you everything about how government really felt about ordinary people concerns. So then what happened? In 2008, yes, the financial crash. Gordon Brown spent years telling everyone he ended boom and bust. He didn't end boom and bust. He left his country with the biggest deficit since World War II. And the NHS, while all this was happening, Blair signed something called PFI deals, Private Finance Initiative. Basically, the NHS borrowed money to build hospitals and then spent the next 30 years paying back the interest, like a payday loan for hospitals. Right, Labour were in for 13 years. 13 years. Are ordinary people living better because of it? Right, then David Cameron, Conservative, 2010. His answer to all that Labour debt, put everything. They called it austerity. Is it austerity? Whatever. Sounds almost responsible, doesn't it? Tighten the belt. I've heard that before. What did that actually mean for real people? In 2010, there were almost no food banks in his country. By 2024, there are over 2,100. So it's just a tiny bit more. Right, life expectancy in the poorest parts of this country started going backwards. So people in poor areas dying 10 years earlier than people in rich areas. Same country, different postcode. Postcode lottery, yay. Anyway, yeah, don't worry, Brexit was coming. So, and that was going to fix everything. Remember the bus, the red double decker? Yeah? It literally said on the side of it, 300 million a week for NHS. Sounds good, isn't it? On the side of the bus. Everyone saw it. I saw it. And I want to be honest here. I'm not saying Brexit was wrong, or was it right? Because instead of sending that money to Brussels, we could have been putting it into NHS all along. The question is, why didn't any government, Labour or Tory, actually do that? So that money just gone. I don't know. Tell me, where is it? Somebody. Right, then Boris came. Remember that? Yeah, COVID happened. COVID? Yeah, COVID. The whole country locked down. You couldn't visit a dying parent in hospital. You couldn't go to a funeral, okay? And Downing Street? Yes, they were having the parties. Yeah, so rules for me and you? Not for them. That's how it works, apparently. So, yeah, then Theresa May. Then Rishi Sunak, 14 years, 5 different prime ministers, cost of living going up, mortgages going up, NHS getting worse, boats still coming. And in 2024, the Conservative got their worst election results in 200 years. 14 years, are ordinary people living better because of it? So Labour wins again, July 2024. Keir Starmer, massive landslide. Fresh start, hope, change. First thing they do, winter fuel payments. 10 million pensioners. Like that. Gone. Then business taxes rise. National insurance on employees goes up, which means businesses pay more, they hire less, they rise prices, and you pay for it. Somebody asked it. Then welfare cuts. They try to cut disability benefits. Their own MPs, Labour MPs, rebelled against them. And Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, the lady in charge of the money, broke down in tears in Parliament. That's supposed to be our representatives crying in the Parliament. Okay, right, less than a year in power, already falling apart. Okay, and then came May 2026. These local elections, Labour lost nearly 1,500 council seats. Just let that sink in a year. They lost control of 38 councils. 38. Tameside, Labour stronghold for 47 years, gone. Reform took all 14 seats Labour was defending there. In Salford, Labour held 3 out of 16 seats. 3. Their own Deputy Prime Minister, David Lammy, came out and said, if voters don't feel change, we will be out on our backsides at the next general election. That's his sitting Deputy Prime Minister admitting they might be finished. Kinda, yeah? Not bad for a government that won a landslide less than 2 years ago. So people voted reform. 1,453 seats. And look at this projection. If you translate these local results into general election, Reform would be on 284 seats, Labour on 110. They would not even be the position. And I get it. I really do. You're angry. I'm angry. I'm not angry. I'm upset. Okay? But I want to ask a honest question. Because I have been watching this country for 25 years as an outsider, is it actually the party that is broken? Or is it the system itself? Because here is what I notice. You change the people, but the outcome is always the same. Tony Blair promised change. Gordon Brown promised stability. David Cameron promised responsibility. Boris promised to get Brexit done. Rishi promised to stop the boats. Keir Starmer promised smash the gangs and a change. And now Nigel Farage is promising, yes, you are right, change. Every single one of them promising changed. And here we are. What did change? Apart from me, you paying more taxes. I'm not saying reform will follow. Maybe they are different. Maybe this time something actually going to shift. But I think it's the fair question to ask, because the ordinary person in this country has been promised change for 30 years. And they are still going to food banks, still waiting in 10 months for NHS appointments. I don't know, I personally haven't experienced that. But when I'm going to local hospital, it's a long queue, okay? So, yeah. And young people still can't buy houses. Right, so yeah, there was one very famous British author who said, history doesn't repeat, but it's very often rhymes. So, Reform will be running councils across England for the next 4 years. Maybe they go national after that. Whether something actually changes for ordinary people, I generally do not know. But I want to know what you think. Drop it in the comments. Will the Reform actually deliver? Or in 4 years, are we going to be sitting here again, watching the next results, asking the same questions? I'm outsider. And sometimes outsiders see things that insiders stopped noticing a long time ago. See you in the next one. Goodbye.